Hello. Today we're going to talk about roles in systems change, and particularly the roles that we occupy in teams or in organisations that are changing in order to create systems change in the world. Now, when we talk about roles, I want you to think about multiple roles, not that one person inhabits only one, but like perhaps the layers of clothing that you have. You can occupy many at the same time. Or perhaps like hats, you can actually take them off and put them on in relation to different people. So I find this really useful. I've been using this recently in relation to the Berkana Two Loop model, which I've shared about, and I'll find an article below. Here's the two loop model, which shows the dominant system, which is in decline, and the emergent system, which we're nurturing. And I've tried to identify some roles that exist in both systems, I think, and both are useful. And it's really important as we talk about these that there's no judgment attached, right? We can all occupy some of these at different times or at the same time in different fora or relationships. So here's just a smattering of the roles. And I'm conscious that, of course, they're not right and they're not all the same size, but just as a food for thought, I think it's useful. Something that we know happens in a dominant system is the dominant system also really wants to hold fast, right? So there's a sense of something holding the system in place. And so there's a role here of people who are resistant to change, and often because they've got a vested interest in things remaining the same. And there's a role too for people to highlight that, to notice and share what's holding the existing system in place and what we think should be let go of. At the same time, there's a similar role about holding on. What should we take with us? What should we compost? What richness can we grow from and bring into the new system? And during this time of change, it's also important to hold the system steady so people feel safe and stable in the time of transition, as well as hospicing what's the emotions and offering care and compassion to people who are struggling with the decline and people who are just harbouring doubts, who are finding it tricky. On the emergent system, you'll see my apparent love of alliteration. There's an important role for the innovator who's disrupting the current system and saying, we want to do things differently. This system isn't working. We've got a vision for something different. And you can see there's also the imagine role to really keep that vision visible, because we want to have that North Star which energizes and motivates. And the illuminator who tells stories about what is happening so we know it's safe to move across. Some people, of course, will be inspired by this change. Some people will be impatient. It will be moving too quick or too slow, or just it will be fine frustrating. And there are other people who are influencers who can influence the process in either direction, either holding the system steady or perhaps encouraging the emergence of the new system. So to use this, what I've done is used it with a leadership team, which was really interesting in terms of finding patterns and having a conversation. So from here, we asked the team to say, okay, where do you put yourself in here? Which of these roles are you inhabiting at the moment? And which do you think your team is inhabiting at the moment? And you can see we spotted some patterns there. And I think sometimes it's easier perhaps to attribute roles also to other people, right? And it's really interesting to me that there are some that have got lots and lots of stars and some which haven't. And both of those open up really interesting conversations. And then we asked, from here, considering this, if this is a snapshot of now, what needs do you and your team have? And then how can we actually meet those needs? So we're really thinking about how to use the use the roles in order to make decisions about how to change the system. That's it for now. Thank you very much.